Matheus Cunha's journey to the very top has been insane. As a teenager, he was rejected by Coritiba's youth academy. For a kid still developing, that moment could have ended his career right there and then. But instead of backing down, Cunha chose risk, and that one decision changed everything. From Switzerland to Madrid, he slowly built up his career until he became undeniable. Then came Wolverhampton Wanderers, where he exploded. But today, he's one of the standout performers for one of the world's biggest clubs. In this video, we go through Cunha's journey from his struggles with rejection to his difficult loan spells at Leipzig and Madrid, as well as his resurgence at Wolves and Manchester United. But before we get into all that, please like and subscribe, bro. It would really help out the channel. Now let's get into the video. At just 15, Matheus Cunha wasn't some world-renowned prodigy on the brink of conquering European football. He played for Coritiba's youth academy in the outskirts of Brazil. For Cunha, playing academy football was a stepping stone that should have helped him represent the first team. When Cunha wasn't playing academy football, he was obsessed with futsal. Cunha knew if he wanted to make his dream a reality, he had to become a better footballer. So he used futsal to improve his offensive instincts. His first touch became sharper. His ball control developed better over time. For anyone who watched Cunha, it was clear for all to see that he had the talent. But the thing about talent is that eventually it has to meet with reality, and Cunha's first reality check came in the form of rejection. The scouts at Coritiba's academy weren't convinced that he was good enough to reach the highest level. So at just 18, Cunha was released from the club's youth academy. Cunha could have given up, but instead he chose risk. At 18, Cunha made the move to Switzerland and signed for FC Sion. On paper, an 18-year-old kid moving abroad sounds like a massive risk, but this decision showed us exactly who Matheus Cunha truly was. He was a risk taker, but the problem when gambling with your odds is that sometimes it doesn't always pay off. But in Cunha's case, it paid off immediately. Cunha hit the ground running when he arrived in Switzerland. In his first season playing European football, he scored 10 goals and registered 8 assists, all before turning 19. Cunha had the perfect blend of creativity and attacking output. His ability to run with the ball broke opposition defenses, and if you gave him enough space, he could pick a pass to set up his teammates for clear-cut chances. But if you put aside the stats, it was how he played football that was so mesmerizing. His first touch, his ball striking, it was all just a joy to watch. His talent attracted interest from all of Europe. RB Leipzig were impressed. So in the summer of 2018, Matheus Cunha joined the German club for a fee of 15 million euros. Cunha was expected to light up German football with his flair, but this was far from the reality. Cunha had difficulties adapting to Julian Nagelsmann's Leipzig. The German club were a tactical and structured side. Players were given clear tactical instructions, something Cunha struggled with considering he thrived in chaos. Cunha's game was built around being given the freedom to express himself, but that approach didn't sit well in a system that demanded its players to suffer. Cunha struggled for game time during the 2018-19 season, but there's a reason why Cunha was so highly rated. And on the 6th of March 2019, we were reminded of Cunha's surreal potential. The goal he scored was something you couldn't describe with words. Cunha receives the ball in tight space. He gets past not one but two Leverkusen defenders before finishing off his goal with a delicate chip over the goalkeeper. This piece of individual brilliance earned Cunha the Bundesliga Goal of the Month. Despite showcasing his talent for the world to see, consistent first-team minutes were hard to come by. Cunha was a talented individual playing in the wrong system. Midway through his second season at Leipzig, Cunha took another massive risk, this time joining Hertha Berlin in hopes to reignite his career. Cunha's start to life in Berlin was immediate. 6 goal contributions in his opening 7 league games for the German club. He scored in back-to-back league games against Hoffenheim and Union Berlin. His performances helped Hertha make a comfortable top-half finish. At Hertha Berlin, Cunha wasn't held back by the shackles of a system. He was given the freedom to express express himself. Sometimes it felt like he played with the burden of pressure to perform in a team that didn't have much to fight for. The fans adored him because he played with flair and purpose. The spotlight by this point in his career was firmly back on Cunha, and at the Olympic Games, he showed his class. The Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games provided a real turning point for Cunha's career. He was a star in Brazil's under-23 squad, providing 4 goal contributions as he was instrumental in Brazil making the final. This tournament proved that Cunha was more than just a maverick. He could be a match winner, and that's exactly what he proved in the final. On the day of the final, he scored the opening goal for his country before Brazil eventually won that game in extra time. After another solid season for Hertha Berlin, the hype behind Cunha's name was immense. Europe's biggest clubs came calling, but in the summer of 2021, it was Atlético Madrid who snatched up the Brazilian's signature for a fee of 30 million euros. Cunha looked ready to dominate all of Europe, especially following his heroics at the Olympic Games. But that's the thing about hype, is that eventually it has to meet with reality, and Cunha's first reality check came in the form of patience at Atlético Madrid. Atlético Madrid under Diego Simeone had built a reputation for being one of the most defensive teams in all of European football. Fans struggled to see how Simeone's haram tactics would fit with a player that thrived on freedom and creativity. Anytime Cunha had looked to have found his rhythm, Simeone asked him to work harder, press higher, and track back to help his defenders. The same tactical demands that made Atletico one of the most ruthless teams in all of European football made Cunha miserable, and soon the cracks started to show. He was subbed off early in games he couldn't perform, benched for long stretches, and eventually it just felt like he was frozen out from the first team. Cunha knew he had to move to a club that had a coach who could trust in him to perform. In January of 2023, he made his loan move to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolves promised him freedom and creativity, but making the move to one of the toughest leagues in the world wasn't going to be easy. He registered 2 goals in 17 league appearances for the club. His start to life in England was tough at the very least, but his managers never lost faith in him. During his 6-month period at the club, fans saw glimpses of his talent. He pressed high, he showed his flair, and always played with total confidence. Wolves eventually decided to make his transfer a permanent one. At the start of the 2023-2024 season, under the guide of Gary O'Neill, Cunha unlocked a side to his game we had never seen before. 12 goals and 7 assists in 32 appearances. He dragged his team through games by running with the ball like a box-to-box midfielder. His ball striking from range was elite. 3 goals from outside of the box, the most in the league that season. Defensively, he was just as good. He was putting up better numbers for interception recoveries than Martin Odegaard and Bernardo Silva. Cunha was transforming into the complete forward, and it wouldn't be long before the Premier League's elite came calling. In the summer of 2025, Manchester United signed the Brazilian for a fee of £63 million, and since then, his performances have been insane. Cunha scored that crucial goal against Chelsea to edge Manchester United one step closer towards Champions League football. Since Michael Carrick's arrival, Cunha has hit top form, contributing with 4 goal involvements in his last 6 Premier League matches, doing this while playing out of position on the left wing. Yes, Cunha didn't have the best start to life in Manchester, but over recent months, he's shown his clinical edge, and that bite United haven't had since the days of Sir Alex Ferguson, and every Man United fan understands his importance in the first team.
Cunha, defensively, not only does he track back, but he is so aggressive and so strong when it comes to just holding up the ball, slowing down the play. When things seem to be going a little bit towards Brighton's side in terms of momentum, Cunha can just completely switch it up with one switch with the ball, or just by driving the ball through the midfield. I think he adds so much to this team that now that I'm looking at each game, I'm thinking, is he even a kind of player that you even want to be taken out or even rotating? He's kind of player that I'm looking at thinking he brings something that nobody else is really bringing.
But I know you were a little bit critical of him when he came in. Is he starting to change your mind now?
It started last week. I said that after last week's game. I thought he had a cracking game last week, and he's had another really good game today, so I'm well impressed and I'm dead chuffed.
Cunha's Manchester United arrival was met with a lot of doubt and scrutiny at the start of the season. The media went on a tear, questioning his attitude, saying that he'd be a problem in the dressing room, and even that he'd be a bad fit for Manchester United. Now, on one hand, these concerns were valid. I mean, this guy pulled off some MMA antics during his time at Wolves, but from a different perspective, many fans would have argued that his ego was exactly what Manchester United needed. Before Cunha arrived at United, the club had finished in 15th position under Ruben Amorim, so fans felt that the club needed a player with a bit of an edge to get United back to winning trophies. I mean, United have had guys like Eric Cantona and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. These guys were considered to have massive egos, but the difference is that they channeled these egos into solid performances for the club, and that's exactly what was expected from Cunha.
It smacks to me a little bit of the Cantona effect in terms of he's got a degree of arrogance and confidence about himself, and I think Man United need a little bit of that brought in there. I think he's a good player. What they put around him, I think, will be very important. Yeah, I like the signing. There's a cultural relationship because he'll be able to speak to him in Portuguese because he's Brazilian. He's a big time player. He thinks he's a big time player. I don't like his attitude at times. I don't like some of the things I've heard about him, but I don't mind that because if you can knock it out of him in a constructive way and get him on board, he might drag some of these players up a level by the very nature of his personality, which is precisely what Cantona did.
Cunha's start to life in Manchester wasn't easy. He registered 1 goal contribution in the opening 14 Premier League matches of the season, but the craziest part is that of those 14 matches, he started in 8 despite his subpar goal record, and that's when it becomes clear that Cunha's game is built around more than just goals and assists. His defensive contributions and ability to carry the ball in space made him an indispensable member in Ruben Amorim's tactical setup. During his time at Wolves, he played as the left attacking midfielder in Wolves' 3-4-2-1 formation, so he was thought to be the perfect fit for Amorim's back 3 system, but things didn't turn out that way. Under the heavy weight of expectations that comes with wearing that Manchester United shirt, Cunha struggled to adapt to Amorim's tactical demands at the start of the season. It took him until late October for this guy to register his first goal for the club, but despite his form, this didn't stop Cunha from being central in some of United's biggest wins at the start of the season. Take United's 2-1 win against Liverpool at Anfield. Cunha didn't score or even assist in that game, but without him, the outcome for Manchester United would have been a very different one. His ability to keep the ball under pressure gave Liverpool all sorts of problems. His late runs into the box dragged Liverpool's defense out of shape to create the space for Mbeumo to score the opening goal at Anfield. But since Michael Carrick's arrival, Cunha's impact has been there for all to see. Operating as a left winger, Cunha carries the ball from midfield more efficiently, and he's just playing with a lot more confidence. Cunha's most impactful performance under Michael Carrick came in United's most recent match against Chelsea. The Brazilian scored the only goal in a 1-0 win over the London club to edge United one step closer towards Champions League football. If he continues at this rate, there's just no telling how high he'll go. That'll be it from me, guys. If you guys did like this video, click subscribe, and if you want to see more videos just like this one, check out my last recent video.